Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Staleman, your ossified orator, and I'm here, quite excitedly bringing you another night of Limbus Company. Now, I am particularly excited because tonight we're finally going to do the last chapter available to us, Chapter 3-22 of The Unbecoming. The Unbecoming? I believe that's what the chapter's name is called. The Unbecoming or the Encountering. We'll see once we get into the game, which I've loaded. I'm directly going to switch over to our overlay here. There I am. Let's go. So, while we last left our stream looking at our sinners being at level 29, and since I had some time this weekend to grind a little bit more for golden tickets and silver tickets, I got our core team to level 30 for this encounter. Yisang, Rodion, Sinclair, Otis, and Gregor. I am quite excited for the chapter. I have heard mixed opinions across forums and Discord channels that I'm in. I am excited to experience more of Project Moon's story, but I am sad that I'm going to have to wait 2 months in order to get another bit of story in this game. It's just the nature of the beast. Alright. So it is the unconfronting to confirm, and we are finally here. During the final stretch of each chapter, you'll be exploring a dungeon, a branch facility of the former Lob.Corp. Designate the identities who will enter the dungeon with you. You can't adjust your team once inside, so choose wisely. When you're fully prepared, press the enter button. So I'm going to go... I was experimenting with Ryoshu in a regular mirror dungeon, and I found that her access to 3 green tokens with her was beneficial in consistently offloading the ego from Gregor and Sinclair, but at the moment I don't have the level high enough to make use of it, so I'll go with her. I don't have any identities really that I'd like to use for Faust or Honglu, Ishmael, or Heathcliff, so I think that with these 7, I should be able to handle the entire dungeon. The branch facility we entered was not as well preserved as the one we had visited in District 4. It seems N-Corp's Inquisitors have been using this place as their base for a while. Various torture devices and bits of flesh and machinery, like those we saw in town, came into my sight. Now, I will forewarn everyone, this is your last chance, really, to avoid spoilers. This is the end chapter, so it makes sense that we're going to have a lot of spoilers on our screen. So if you do not want to get spoiled for the last chapter of the game, I'd highly recommend that you tune out of the live stream as much as I'd like for you to stick around. Okay then.
여자가 고통을 논하는군.
필시 거짓 아픔일 것이다. 신경 쓸 것 없다.
아니야, 정말 아파.
불순물을 몸에 붙일 때는 아프지 않았는가? 인간이기를 그만두는데 마음이 소리치진 않았는가?
그만. 이자가 참회를 하기엔 이미 늦었다. 보아라, 눈물도 흘리지 않지 않는가? 거짓 고해라는 것이다.
아니야. 눈물 흘릴 수 있어.
확인하지 않을 필요까지는 없지 않겠는가?
물론 거짓 없는 울음은 인간성을 의미하고.
감사합니다. 정말
자, 그대의 눈을 들추어 보겠다.
눈물샘마저도 추악한 불순물로 몸에 붙인다고 하니 직접 보지 않으면 신뢰할 수 없다. 그대의 눈을 뽑아 그 자리에 살이 들어차 있다면 내보내주도록 하지.
뭐? 안 돼. 안 돼.
Oh god.
이단은 벌레와도 같군. 홀로 자리하지 않고 끊임없이 대업을 방해하는 것이 아주 흡사하도다.
왜? 이번엔 나도 한번 나서보고 싶었어.
Oh, Roja. A woman after my own heart. Your goal was to reach the last section of the bottom floor. The dungeon consists of multiple floors, each rife with events and encounters. Each sector is connected to one another, and you can travel to adjacent sectors by selecting. It's possible to retrace your steps should you do this. Sinners don't heal after battle while in dungeon. Okay then. So I'll do the human fight first, right?
잔테, 이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
I am curious to see when I enter into this fight whether or not it was all for naught that I leveled up all of my units to level 30. I am hoping that that isn't the case, but you know, because yeah, this doesn't. They're level 23. Maybe it's level 30, or it's a recommended level 30 for the final boss. In which case, I could have started going through the dungeon instead of saving it for just the one event. Okay. Oh, great. Fantastic. So we're currently just trying to get through this dungeon as quickly as possible. At least to avoid having individuals lose health. Oh, perfect.
그렇게 무르진 않네. 역시 무르네.
Fantastic. We do have our emergency healer in Sinclair with Sinclair's Doomsday Ego. They can employ this ego and provide healing to the rest of the crew.
뭐야? 그새 제법 싸우는 폼이 발전했는데요.
Oh no. My girl. So this is if you're not familiar with the story, this is a character from chapter 2 that was introduced, and I referred to her as Jessie with her male counterpart, Effie or Muffin, something along those lines, being referred to as James. By Nacho.
괜찮으세요? 일어설 수 있으시겠?
에피는
Effie.
어떻게 살아있죠?
네, 살아있어요.
잡담은 그만하지. 또 그 이상한 것들이 기어오는 듯하니.
I mean, I don't know how you would, if you were put into that situation, if you would be able to do anything else other than lie, right?
별일 수 있는 기회겠죠?
It's just, it's an awful thing to think about. Okay. Targeted by you. You'll win this. Can take the fight from that. Wait, are you also targeting? You are also targeted. So this. Who can do this? Perfect.
명령대로.
If you do have any questions or comments about the plan of action for the dungeon and sort of dungeon build recommendations, I'm more than happy to provide information on that front. I know that a lot of people recommended to bring Blunt into just this entire chapter. I personally don't think that that was a necessary thing to do. It might have made my fights with K-Corp easier, but it wasn't something that I needed to change my team on.
명령대로. 좋은 전략입니다.
Okay then, so at a dying to the entrance, no one could truthfully answer a desperate question about Effie. There's a machine in the dilapidated room. A long, bulky lever is at the center of the machine adorned with springs. The urge to pull it is growing stronger and stronger. Use the machine, 50% chance for a positive effect. Sure. %50% chance to gain an ego gift. Failure results in HP and SP. I mean, it's a coin flip, right? I don't have a problem with that. You see a large gate in the distance. There's something eerie about the pointed fences and stone walls. It looks to be the only way through this area, but it's guarded by a large number of Inquisitors. Is there anything we can do about them? Run a pride check, then begin a combat encounter. Pass to buff all allies and reduce the number of waves by 1. Run a lust check, then begin a combat encounter. Pass to reduce the number of waves by 2. Begin a combat encounter with all 3 waves. I mean, I can do something like this, right? This should be easy enough. If we tread carefully, we might be able to strike the Inquisitors from behind. It'd give us a considerable advantage in the upcoming battle. Oh, it's a 10. So that's not good. This will give me better odds. That would just... No, it's gonna be this one. Damn. The selected identity took an HP damage. For the next battle to gain a gift.
본인이 미력하였기에.
I mean, you know, it happens. I didn't expect to be, like, fumbling into this dungeon like this, but... So it goes. And really, this is going to give me the chance to potentially gain health, which I'm gonna need.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Perfect. Perfect. The background music is really nice right now. I'm a fan. So you.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Perfect.
다음번에는 뵐수 있겠죠? 흉터의 결과요. 순조로운 전략입니다. 좋은 전략입니다. 순조로운 전략입니다. 좋은 전략입니다.
Okay, we have some benefits here. I don't know why these characters are blurrier for whatever reason. We will win all the time. We'll win most of the time with this move. Here to actually most of the time with this. So work. I'm saving my ego move. Oh, I don't even have Doomsday unlocked yet. I'm seeing one red and one orange, which I'd be unlocking with this fight.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Perfect. Perfect. Oof. Delicious. If only paralysis worked. Okay. Fantastic. Doesn't... Oh. Oh no.
다음번에는 뵐수 있겠죠?
Okay, I think that I can save Otis here. I definitely need to keep her alive, because she is my only person.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. So one person is staggered. We just need to stagger one other person. That is garbage. Or are they just allowed to... That's pretty bogus.
명령대로. 순조로운 전략입니다.
Alright, they're both staggered.
순조로운 전략입니다. 좋은 전략입니다.
You're nearly dead.
역시 모르네.
버리겠습니다.
And then there's one more fight. Okay. You win with this. Would lose with that. And actually do this. This is safer. This is good. There's a lot of like mental math that I'm doing right now in order to make sure that everyone is okay. I mean, this is a 50-50. Probably do that. Unluckily, I like activated this ego move for nothing. And that's free.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Oh, thank goodness. Perfect. Perfect. Yes.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
Perfect.
나의 손으로 잘라낼 수 있다면.
They're close to being staggered there. The stagger is delicious. Close to staggering. I do have access to the heal now, which I'm going to take advantage of. Do I win this? I don't think so. I'm going to... Why am I... That's... Do I get the chance to... Okay. So, it lets me keep it there for some reason, but it didn't let me... Yeah, that's strange. Boom. Still always win that fight. Definitely going to win that. This is 50. Die clearing cut. This.
명령대로 하겠습니다. 처리했습니다. 제대로 들어갔습니다.
This is gonna be used on someone else then. Okay.
복을 구하고 싶다면 정성을 들여 빌어보시오.
Right, so you're staggered. I don't have to worry about your attacks. This is good. You're about to be staggered as well. Which means that whoever Sinclair is going to hit is going to provide me with the kill that I need. No? Oh my goodness.
그렇게 무르진 않네. 역시 무르네.
I guess it was because of the power down. I should have saved it for the end. Hindsight. You know how it is. I heard that familiar yet ominous sound of a nail being dragged across the floor from not too far away.
앞으로는 확인 사살을 기본 전투기에게 넣는 것이 어떠신지.
Thought of his return makes what hair I have stand on end. Barricade them by his gaze firmly fixed on me. I needed to rewind the clock. Most of the sinners were either dead or gravely injured. There's no way an effectively non-combatant manager and someone barely holding on to her life could take him. Oh. So this is quite interesting because guns in the world of well, Limbus Company, Lob.Corp, Library of Ruina, they don't have a lot of firearms. Bullets are relatively expensive in the game. So this is quite interesting to me.
움직이지 마시길. 그 시계를 돌리는 순간 제 손이 그대로 머리를 그렇게 쳐다봐도 저한텐 안 들려요. 당신을 없애는데.
You promised to let Effie go if I help to get rid of you.
시간을 지나치게 오래.
Vito comes to me and grabs me by the neck. Then he grips my head tightly with his other hand as if to crush it. Crack rattles ring inside my head. His fingers being inches away from shattering my head terrifies me. Is this it? Is this how I die? Could this have turned out differently if I was a better manager? I remember Heathcliff menacingly asking if there was a way to open up my head so he could see what's inside. Tough luck, Heathcliff. You'll be missing out on a good show. It was a sound of something breaking. Fortunately for me, it didn't come from my head. Oh, okay then. A nail was lodged in his back, and Sinclair was gasping for air behind him. He was nearly unconscious, lying still until moments ago. It's a miracle that he managed to get up and do this. It could escape Guido's grasp thanks to him, but Guido stood firm despite Sinclair's desperate attack. He collected his breath and slowly turned around. You too are a filthy heretic. You're all insane, out of your minds. The one who grips had once said that you could have become the one as well. What a shame. You grip with the wrong direction.
아니요. 이제 안 도망쳐요.
좋은 대답이네요, 싱클레어 씨.
Oh, okay.
스스로 멸망에 이르는 자들이여, 망치는 계속해서.
에피는 역시 당신들은 허술해요.
Let's try to
거짓말을
make it
하려면
somewhat believable.
소드 씨, 얼른 나가자고. 지혈 좀 하고 그러면은 괜찮을 거야.
맞아요. 제가 지혈대를 챙겨.
무슨 말을 하는 거예요? 제대로 움직이기도 힘든데. 더군다나 저 신문관들은 계속 올 텐데요. 당신들은 제가 여길 맡을 겁니다.
어떻게 그래요?
제대로 움직이기도 힘들다면서요. 그래서는 어떻게 뒤를 맡기겠어요? 네?
저기 이럴 땐 그냥 고개 끄덕이고 잽싸게 넘어가면 되는 거랍니다. 격떨어지게 남은 사람 걱정을 왜 하는 거예요?
그치만
아, 이거 진짜 구질구질한 장면인 거 알아요? 키코하우스트, 얼른 이 멍청이들 데리고 가줘요.
Please take these absolute dorks out of here. What a line, my dude.
안부 전해드리죠.
안부는 무슨, 인사나 한번 와달라고 해주세요. 무슨 뜻인지 알죠?
네.
Okay then. Sinclair's determination to stand up to Cromer after 3 strokes have been drawn. I know that there was something to do with the egos. But I'm not sure what exactly you think to be broken. There's gotta be something valuable. What should you do? Asked to open a new path on the map. Sure. Let's run a sloth check. So, I am at risk of losing here. These are only high but they're like 1 coin. These are all 1 coin. Well, I guess I'll do Gregor, because he's at 45, so he has a higher chance of doing heads. Let's just hope. Oh, thank goodness. Apparently there is a protruding brick next to the door. Gregor explained that sliding it back into place got the door to open, then proceeded through.
관리자님, 멋진 전략이었습니다.
Oh, that's fantastic.
단테, 이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
Will I be able to handle these ruffians? I can do this one just fine. You can handle... You can definitely handle this. You'll definitely be able to handle this. I'll give you this. Heals... I need to find ways to heal these two. Which would be... I need one more... I need one more red. Okay, so if I block you... That gives me the red for this. They're clashing. Everyone clashing. Perfect. This should
망설임이
work.
없도록.
I just realized that they have an attack power up too. It's gone now, but that could have been dangerous. I didn't get the... Well, I guess it wasn't a clash, so it didn't register. Do this. Copies a skill that hits this unit. Deal 10 speed damage. To me or to them?
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데. 그렇게 무르진 않네.
Okay. We're nearly dead with that. I can nearly kill you with this. 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 You still don't have... Let me clash the that.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
순조로운 전략이다.
Okay. Okay. I staggered. You're nearly dead. Okay, perfect. Do you. You're guaranteed to die, which will give everyone here some much needed health. Or let's hope anyway. Okay.
이겨버리겠어.
Okay, perfect. So it did heal everyone. I just healed for 100, 79. I didn't heal for as much as I would have wanted, but it happens.
명령대로.
흉터의 결과요.
What am I getting for getting to the... Used in certain events expires on use. Is it just to gain access to the old warehouse? Tons of old broken crates littered the floor. Clearing things away, you found 3 particularly large crates. These are all locked. Looks like the keyholes have the same shape. Alas, the key is of a soft constitution. It won't be feasible to use it again once it has been inserted into a lock. Which one should you open? In an ego gift that boosts defense, 50% chance to gain an ego gift that boosts tremor attacks, 50% chance to gain an ego gift that boosts bleed attacks. I mean, I just gained the one that guarantees me an ego gift. Just makes sense to do something like that. Here.
별일 수 있는 기회겠죠?
So far, we're making like a good headway into the dungeon. I don't know how many floors there are in the dungeon. I don't even think that I'm going to be able to complete it all on stream today. I am contemplating whether I even save it for stream, because I've been looking forward to getting this done. And this will probably be better when...
명령대로.
So close. And this. We
망설임이
hope that you
없도록.
and the other one. Just... They do not like to repeat heads for me.
제대로 들어갔습니다. 허리 있습니다.
배워냈어요.
망설임이
Yeah, this'll work.
없도록.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
좋은 전략입니다. 배워냈어요.
Perfect. This is a big boss. Go through the torture chamber. Lob.Corp inquisitors were busy torturing someone. Filtered, scream-filled, cramped room. Your victims are filled with prosthetic bodies. Sinclair didn't utter a word, but his eyes, full of wrath and fear, were fixed on the torturer. Heavily, at a regular interval, body shaking. He looks like he might charge forth at any second. Stop him, or... Run a wrath check, then begin a combat encounter. Use Sinclair for the check to gain a sign. Sinclair sprinted to where the Inquisitors were. Sinclair healed 30 SP. Don Quixote healed 10. And I meant to use Sinclair here in order to get the sin or the ego gift. There's a provision master. But that hammer might be too big for Sinclair's weapon to stop. Why? He has a wrath ability within his kit. Why would you not pull that move? I have no idea why these checks don't... Why? Okay, fine, whatever. It's okay. Alright. Sinclair, you've got this. I believe in you. I apparently not.
생각지도 못한 일이에요.
단테, 이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
I do find that to be particularly frustrating. Insofar as the checks are concerned, it should be the case that if you have the prerequisite color, that you should be able to use that color. I have Slash series here. Why didn't it allow me to choose this? It's incredibly frustrating.
명령대로.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
No heads? Come on. Awful. Can win this fight all the time. I can win with that.
명령대로. 버리겠습니다.
Perfect.
순조로운 전략입니다.
그렇게 무르진 않네.
Nope, highest honor is gonna trigger.
배는 맛은
And they're all
있는
staggered,
편이
so
좋은데.
배워냈어요. 좋은 전략입니다.
버리겠습니다.
alright. So I've succeeded in going through this. I am rather upset that I didn't get the sign. Or maybe I did since I used Sinclair. No, I didn't. So whatever this involves, I did not get all three of them, which is frustrating. Alright. So this would be the last bit here.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
Oh, I'm glad that you enjoyed the video on Vagant, Eduardo. I had a lot of fun making that one. Vagant is very near and dear to my heart, as was stated within the video. I'm hoping that the developers for Vagant release something else or release more Vagant if they plan to do so. I know that it's just 3 people working on that game, but if they stopped at Vagant, I would be upset that they wouldn't have done something more, you know? There's a lot of charm in the game that they released, and I think that they should release something else, and hopefully they should get the recognition that they deserve this time around. Also, thank you for tuning in and thanking me for the video. It means a lot. There certainly is the sound of something moving along the floor. Okay.
저것들도 환상체인가?
자세히 봐요.
Take a close
환상체가
look.
아니에요. 인장이 박혀 있어요.
Oh, they're on closer inspection. Could spot the she mentioned. They were the ones warned by the
내부
Inquisitors.
침식 현상이군요.
그 기분 나쁜 상태를 말하.
전투 중에 멘탈이 흔들릴 때 그랬던 것 같은데 마치 뭔가에 잡아먹히는 것
Interesting.
같다고. 우자구적 씹혀 먹히는 것과는 괴가 다르지만 본질을 좀 먹어 들어간다는 것을 생각하면 괜찮은 표현이네요. 그리고 이 장소는 아까 층과는 다르게 의체들을 고문만 하는 장소가 아닌 것 같아요. 스스로 침식을 강행시키는 장소라는 말이.
That is interesting. Golden bow after going to these, will it even be used for their benefit? Then it occurred to me, am I really so different from those slightly? I'm searching for golden bows without even knowing they'll be. I mean, I think that Dante is a little too hard on himself. He has no recollection of who he once was, and is told that in order to acquire his memories, he needs to collect all of these golden bows. Sort of caught in a hard position. These are gnarly looking, I'm not gonna lie. Why can I win with this?
제 검을 믿어주세요.
No. Actually, I think the best course of action is to just employ ego here. Something like that. Target this. This.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
Perfect. And then they're gonna do their evasion.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
Yeah, I wish they did, because to me it has soul and potential, but for 3 people, I understand that it would be hard. I did read that one of the 3 is actively working on an update of some kind for Vagan. I did read that as well. I'm not that active on their Discord, but I know that they were working on something. It's 3 developers separated across 3 different countries, so there is a lot of work that they would need to do in order to come together and make something. It is quite upsetting that in the realm of roguelites and roguelikes available, that a game with as much charm as Vagant has, with its unique take on the dungeon crawling formula, doesn't really have the fan adoption that you would expect. And in some instances, I understand. Vagant almost feels like something similar to Made in Abyss, or something similar to a game by, I believe that they go by Glass Revolver on Twitter, I'm not sure. They're producing something that is 3D, and it has platforming elements similar to Vagant, and it's about exploring this vast world as they go below. And Vagant feels a lot like that. You're exploring a place, and it feels quite tactile to explore the dungeon that's provided. If they are to release another game, if they work on something with the Vagant engine, I would like for them to maybe hone in on that dungeon exploration aspect, because I think that's where the true heart of the game lies. You're targeting Otis. You do. Does. You don't have. Oh no. Okay. What happens? You just don't have any at all. Yeah. I'll just have to make do with what I've got. But this.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Okay.
모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
Okay, I succeeded there. I succeeded here as well. I didn't even need the ego. Would have been nice for the evasion. Okay. We're cooking with gas here. They're both aiming for the same person. I don't understand why. Okay. I can win. I can comfortably win this fight. I will always win this fight. I can this. You can take this fight. Go. And then we could do this. This'll work.
없도록.
Oh no. And that's why I'd always win in that scenario. And they're so close to being staggered too. That's...
모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
They're so close to being staggered here. This is ridiculous. So he just needs to. I just need to win once against you. Like this. I don't think that. I think that Otis dies here. I don't think I could read. I don't have the ability to redirect any of the moves here. This is... Will I be able to heal them up within the dungeon, maybe? Alright, they're dead. Yeah, Otis just dies there. I am hoping that I heal here. Because I really don't want to go back and start leveling up other identities. Just to have a chance at this dungeon. Maybe it'll give me the chance to like redo the skill check that we failed earlier in the dungeon. Start of the turn, allies less skill have the following. It took no damage from attacks last turn. Apply. Is this game like Darkest Dungeon? It looks interesting, but I'm lost. Eduardo, this game, the best way that I can describe it is that this game, sections of this game are Darkest Dungeon-esque. This whole exploring through this dungeon sequence is the capstone that occurs at the end of a given chapter. If you were looking for... Let me go to the main menu here and save progress for now. If you were looking to get into the game, one, it's free. I would highly recommend it. It's also a gacha, so be forewarned that there is a insidious element as expected of all gachas. I would probably vouch for this one because I trust the company to they don't have any higher investors. Regardless, the game is similar to Darkest Dungeon insofar as exploring dungeons are concerned, or the mirror dungeons that you can do in order to collect resources, and the capstone dungeons that occur at the end of a given story. So these sections here would be the Darkest Dungeon sections, right? The combat that you were seeing in the game as I was going from node to node, that's the bulk of the gameplay, right? If I were to, let me just select a stage. Let's select this at random, right? Do
즉시 출격하겠습니다.
something like this, right? The bulk of the game is you, or the premium part of the game is you going and experiencing story segments within each chapter, and each chapter looks like the character's steal action point. I don't. Could you clarify that? I'm not sure what you mean by steal's action point. Most of the game, when you're going through the chapters, play in this sort of like connect the colors fighting system. And when you're going through this connect the colors fighting system, as you can see at the top here, you have these coins that flip. And these indicate whether or not you get the bonus, the modifier, which is the +2 in this instance, for each heads that you flip, or you don't get the +2 if you do not flip heads, right? You're incentivized, at least with this mode of combat, to connect all of the colors in order to get bonuses that are acquired on the side here. So in this sense, this isn't like a Darkest Dungeon. They sort of go about their attacks all at once. You do have a stagger system similar to Darkest Dungeon's. Actually, no, because you also have a sanity system similar to Darkest Dungeon's sanity system. Instead of, acquiring a heart attack if you go at -45 or -100 here, you turn into what is called
볼
like
일이 있나요?
a corrosive ego. As the characters attack and defeats an enemy, the leftover energy that the monster has goes to the winner. That is not the case. The leftover energy that the monster has does not go to the winner. What ends up happening is that they just take the damage. And if you won that encounter, you gain the coin slot on the corner here in order to gain the strength to perform your ego moves, which are sort of like your big finishing moves, or in this case, I use them a lot in order to win clashes, right? So for example, if I were to go and connect these two colors here, I know for a fact that I am always going to win this fight if I low roll and draw 0, heads. I'm going to get an 11, which beats their 3 and their 6. If I high roll, my 17 is still going to beat their 3 and their 6. So that's how I'm engaging in the mathematics of the given encounter, right? And then once I get the 17, there's like complicated math to assess how much damage I do to the enemy, which their health is located here. If I do a portion of their health damage, this stagger bar occurs where they suddenly become weak to all of the damage types that I'm able to dish out. The 3 damage types being slash, pierce, and blunt. Hopefully that's clarifying some parts of the game. The tutorial does an alright job of explaining some sections of the game. There are other sections of the game that it is bad at explaining, such as how to assess probability for wins. It'll tell you that, for example, if I were to use Scattering Slash to beat their Clumsy Chop, I'm always going to enter into a dominating position because I'm going to win whether or not I roll heads or tails. But sometimes you will get a indicator that says dominating, but this is under the assumption that you roll a heads. and it is actually better for you to use a skill that is either neutral or even struggling at some times, because when your character is clashing with an enemy, if you fail the clash, you lose a coin toss. And you want to have as many coin tosses as possible in order to make sure that you are acquiring the victory in a given clash. The longer that you prolong the clash, the greater damage that you deal as well. So you really want to make sure that you're always winning the clashes so that you deal the stagger damage that you want to deal, and you get rid of the enemies as quickly as possible. Hopefully that answers your question.
좋은 전략입니다. 명령대로 하겠습니다.
역시 모르네.
좋은 전략입니다.
하겠습니다.
역시 내가 못 빼는 건 없어.
Okay, cool. Now that I've gone through that,
자만아, 나랑 포커 한 판 칠래? 헤즈업으로.
I am going to call it here. Thank you for keeping me company, Eduardo. It was a pleasure to have you chat while we played through Limbus Company. If I highly recommend at least trying the game out. Oh, do I plan on streaming any other games? I don't have any other games on my mind at the moment. I wouldn't put myself against streaming other games. I might stream Teamfight Tactics.
맛있는 거 사러 나간 거지? 나키는.
I might stream Teamfight Tactics if people are interested in that. I enjoy streaming tactical games typically. I could stream myself playing games that I'm interested in reviewing. There are a couple of roguelites that I'm interested in trying out. I have Patch Quest, which was recently released, and I purchased the game maybe like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, in preparation for a review. But I haven't gotten around to it specifically. If you have any game recommendations for streaming purposes, I would be more than happy to take them. At one point I did think about streaming Library of Ruina, since it was the game that sort of propelled me towards this entire content creation process to begin with. Which is why I feel an obligation almost to record myself playing Limbus Company, because I enjoy the game a ton, and if I can put my thoughts out there on what I enjoy and what I dislike, maybe Project Moon will hear my issues from the ether and respond to some of the clear problems that the game has in terms of its methods of engaging the player. Hopefully that answers your question. With that though, it has been a pleasure. I hope that you and everyone else that attended the stream has a wonderful night. This has been Mr. Staleman with Limbus Company, signing off.